Good evening, I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Former best friends now turned bitter enemies. US President Donald Trump declares relationship with Elon Musk over. And is ASEAN ready for a single currency? We explore the idea. That's coming up on AWANI International. US President Donald Trump declares that his relationship with tech billionaire Elon Musk is over. When asked by NBC News if he hoped to mend damaged ties, Trump indicated the answer to be no. He also warned of serious consequences if Musk decides to back Democratic candidates running against Republicans. However, he declined to elaborate what those consequences would be. Trump added that he had not considered terminating government contracts with Musk companies, including Starlink satellite internet and SpaceX rocket launches. The ongoing feud comes after Musk publicly criticized the president's tax and spending bill, a key domestic policy. He has since deleted some social media posts critical of Trump, including one suggesting the president be impeached, but has yet to respond for requests for comment. US plane maker Boeing has resumed deliveries to China as trade tensions between Beijing and Washington temporarily ease. The plane for Xiamen Airlines landed at Boeing's completion center near the commercial hub of Shanghai after leaving Seattle on Saturday.
Data from tracking app Flight Radar 24 showed that Boeing had originally sent the craft to Zhoushan in March. However, the plane, along with two others, were returned to the US in mid-April, when Chinese airlines stopped taking new Boeing aircraft due to the tariff war. China represents about 10% of Boeing's commercial backlog and is a crucial aviation market. Representatives of China and the US are set to meet in London later today to discuss a trade deal, while Boeing plans to deliver 50 jets to China later in the year despite earlier delays.
Now after the break, we explore the feasibility of a single currency for ASEAN. Stay tuned.
Nasibku bercukur pedih.
Tukar kepada Gillette Blue 3X Flexi. 3 bilahan pekat kulit.
Syoknya.
Lupakan yang pedih, bang.
Rambut gugur lagi? Macam mana, Gunakan Pantene Baharu dengan provitamin mikro yang meresap dan menguatkan rambut dari dalam. Rambut 10 kali lebih kuat terhadap rambut gugur. Pantene Baharu.
With global economic uncertainty and currency volatility on the rise, is this the right time for ASEAN to seriously consider a single currency? Proponents argue it could boost regional trade, stability and resilience. But questions remain if the region is truly ready. Dr. Umar Murthy, lecturer at the Faculty of Business and Law of Taylor's University, weighs in.
I believe it's the right time for the idea of ASEAN single currency because we have witnessed high volatile global monetary environment. We have a US dollar which is dominant in the market, but it still shows instability during a recent global shock such as like a COVID-19, geopolitical tension, and also inflationary cycle. And according to Malaysia Investment Development Authority, they have said that ASEAN, which is the regional bloc with a combined GDP over 3.9 trillion in 2023, and we have a population exceeding 680 million, ASEAN has matured economically. So intra-ASEAN trade now account for 22% of total trade. That shows significantly deep integration. And we also have a mechanism like ASEAN Plus 3 Macroeconomy Research Office and Chiang Mai Initiative for Monetary Cooperation. And recently, since 2021, ASEAN has been exploring cross-border payment system, whereby they are using QR code and also digital currency.
As Trump pushes for higher tariffs, Umar believed the move could strengthen the bloc's bargaining power, reduce reliance on the US dollar, and shield the bloc from external shocks.
Single currency can bring economic bargaining power. That will be very good for our Asian member countries. It allows regional to negotiate trade deals more efficiently and reduce reliance on the US dollar. And as we all know that as Trump wanted to increase a tariff, so this definitely will work wonderful. Asian economy bargaining power. And whereas if you look at it, China, which is ASEAN largest trading partner, which is, we can see single currency could help settle more trade supporting on ongoing de-dollarization trend. And if you look at it in US perspective, become ASEAN larger export, mean to say like 15% of ASEAN export goes to US market. So a single ASEAN currency can able to bring trade stabilization, minimizing the currency volatility, and also we can able to reduce exposures to the US monetary policy decision.
China launched a trial visa-free policy on Monday for ordinary passport holders from Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait and Bahrain. This latest move expands the members to China's unilateral visa-free circle of friends to 47 countries.
From June 9, 2025 to June 8, 2026, ordinary passport holders from these 4 countries travelling to China for business, sightseeing, visiting relatives or friends, exchanges or transit for up to 30 days will not be required to obtain a visa for entry. With the new policy, China now offers visa-free access to all 6 member states of the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC. This is expected to boost the economy and relations between the countries.
US President Donald Trump's order banning citizens of 12 countries from entering the United States took effect on Monday, move the president enacted to protect the country from what he called as foreign terrorists. At Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, people were seen walking out of an airport terminal just after the ban took effect. Meanwhile, at Miami International Airport, at least one passenger was seen hugging loved ones on arrival, hours before the ban took place. Around that time, a flight from Cuba, one of the countries partially restricted under the order, had landed. The countries affected by the latest travel ban are Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. The entry of people from 7 other countries, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela, will be partially restricted. The travel ban forms part of Trump's policy to restrict immigration into the United States and is reminiscent of a similar move in his first term, when he barred travelers from 7 Muslim-majority nations. Protesters in Los Angeles say the deployment of the National Guard was a scare tactic intended to quell the dissent in the city. Demonstrations have flooded the city for a 3rd consecutive day as anger mounts over US President Donald Trump's immigration enforcement policies.
I think it's a scare tactic. People think if you scare them, they'll go home, but a lot of people were here to see difference. We don't want to be here and do nothing all day. We want to do something.
I think it's a little overkill right now. A lot of the people are just peacefully protesting. As you can tell, we're not being violent. We're just trying to be loud so that we can be heard, but there's been no violence, and we've just been shot at rubber pellets, a bunch of over-exaggerations that are not necessary right now.
I am born and raised here, but I have a lot of immigrant family members, so I just don't think it's fair. I think even if I wasn't, I still think it's not fair that they're just dragging people out of here, they're tearing families apart. Seeing all of that happen on social isn't the right way. Going to their jobs and yanking them from there, it's just very heartbreaking. So I wanted to show my support and my love out here today.
National Guard troops guarded federal government buildings as police and protesters clashed in separate demonstrations over federal immigration raids in Los Angeles. Los Angeles police declared several rallies to be unlawful assemblies, accusing some protesters of throwing concrete projectiles, bottles and other items at police.
An activist on board the pro-Palestinian Freedom Flotilla Coalition, or FFC, vessel says part of the Madeleine was covered by a white substance while Israeli forces were intercepting the Gaza-bound boat. Yasmin Achar said this in a video published on Monday, which also showed the white substance covering the deck of the vessel.
We don't know what this is, if this is paint or some chemical. No idea, but please sound the alarm. They did say that they want to intercept us in a very calm way, but this is not what's happening. There is another war crime about to happen. We will keep you updated. Please put pressure on the governments. Tell them that we are here because they are aiding and abetting this genocide. They are upholding a illegal blockade. They're using starvation as a weapon of war. This cannot go on. We cannot live in a future like this. You need to do everything in your power. Use your bodies, use your voices. Amplify the voice of Palestinians. And do tell them that we are here because they're not doing their jobs.
Reuters was not able to independently verify the footage or what the substance was. The date was verified by military statements and an announcement from the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. Israeli forces have taken command of the British-flagged yacht, Madeleine, that had tried to break a naval blockade of the Gaza Strip, according to the officials on Sunday. The boat was boarded during the night before it could reach shore, the FFC said on its Telegram account. The Israeli Foreign Ministry later confirmed that it was under Israeli control. All passengers were saved and unharmed, the ministry later added. Among the 12-strong crew are Swedish climate campaigner Greta Thunberg and Rima Hassan, a French member of the European Parliament. World leaders arrived for the third United Nations Ocean Conference, or UNOC3, on Monday in the southern French city of Nice. The summit, gathering heads of state, scientists and advocates, is meant to cover climate change, pollution, biodiversity and making humanity's access to marine resources more sustainable.
One of the stated goals of the French government was to convince enough states to ratify the High Seas Treaty, adopted by the United Nations in 2023, for it to come into effect. The pact is seen as a crucial tool to meet a target to protect 30% of the Earth's land and sea by 2030, also known as 30 by 30. The UNOC3 will run from Monday, June 9th to Friday, June 13th.
That report wraps up AWANI International tonight. Stay tuned for our reports on the rivalries, strategies and the shifts behind the power affairs driving the new global order. Visit international.astroawani.com for more. Be sure to follow our social media accounts at Power Affairs. That is all for now. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Good night.